Alabama. And the Kalen DeBoer era is clearly off and running. Everyone's wondering, well, how's Jalen Milroe going to look? How's this offense going to mesh? We've been telling you for a long time now. I think it's going to be magic. Alabama fans, make sure you're subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. We've had so many of y'all jump on board with us over the course of the last few weeks, maybe even the last few months. Thank you for being a part of this program. Y'all are the college football sickos that make this thing go. And if you have not yet subscribed, baby, no time like the present. So we appreciate y'all in advance for locking in. Right now, the reports are that they are starting to build the offense to Jalen Milroe. During the spring, you're kind of just installing all the base stuff. You're trying to get everybody the same looks. You're trying to give all the quarterbacks the same systems to run through. Now they're starting to go, okay, well, we're going from the Kalen DeBoer Alabama offense to the Kalen DeBoer Alabama offense with Jalen Milroe at quarterback. Last year, there was a point during that LSU game, it felt like to me at least, where it went from the Alabama offense under Tommy Rees to where it was no longer even the Tommy Rees offense. It was like, hey, we got Jalen Milroe at quarterback. Let's use him. Let's let him cook. Right now, going back to what I was talking about, kind of building that scheme to Jalen Milroe, he's been extremely confident. Had a great scrimmage, it sounds like a long bomb touchdown pass, also broke off a huge run. The overwhelming term when they talk about him is confidence. Confidence. And I'll tell you this, to be a first-year quarterback in a new system, or a first-year system. You heard him saying, Jalen Milroe now is going through his first offseason in Kalen DeBoer's offense. Confidence isn't the word that you need to use during fall camp for a guy like that, in a system like this. Like, it would be very okay if Jalen Milroe was still getting up to speed and figuring out the checks and all those things. To say that he's confident right now in this system, I think speaks volumes to the architect behind the offense for Kalen DeBoer and speaks volumes to Jalen Milroe and the work he's putting in right now to get comfortable in this offense. So he's QB1, there's no doubt about it. But also, as much as you hear like the noise about Jalen Milroe and his success, there's a lot of good things said about Ty Simpson right now. Backup quarterback out there at Alabama. And so you hope and pray that nothing ever happens to Jalen Milroe, as long as there is a chance for him to be on the field like you want him on the field. But at the exact same time, with the understanding that college football gives and college football takes in a very ugly sense, Ty Simpson is a very capable backup, period. Like not just capable backup if something horrible happens, not just capable backup if like Jalen Milroe's helmet pops off for a play. Like, if you need to go to Ty Simpson, they feel good about that in Tuscaloosa. All right? Now, in the pass catchers department, Jeremy Bernard, transfer wide receiver from Washington, is wide receiver 1 right now. He is the lead dog, and that makes a lot of sense because he was with Kalen DeBoer at Washington. He is just picking up where he left off at. He's just wearing a different uniform and practicing in a different place. Outside of him, Ryan Williams is a dude who reclassified, really should be getting ready for a high school game right now, and he's balling. And there was, I think, some, not concern, but maybe some apprehension from us, at least as the college football public, when he was getting to Alabama in terms of his role this upcoming season. Because obviously a very talented individual, but you're like, hey, man, like you were supposed to play another year of high school football. The headline is he's going to be a factor some way, somehow this year. I believe he had a big scrimmage as well. Caleb Odom, if you're on social media, and if you're watching the show, I'm assuming you are, he had a one-handed snag that went out. I believe it was on the Alabama Twitter account or somehow hit Bama Twitter. And, I mean, it was like full extension, elevation, one hand, but like video game stuff. And he's 6'5", 227 pounds. When he was going to college, there was a thought of like, well, hey, is he a tight end? Is he a receiver? Y'all, he's been playing receiver. He would have had to transition to tight end. Bama, from what I can tell and from the way that it looks, is going to use him as a receiver. It's a big body at receiver now. Like, you don't think Jalen Milroe might be looking for him when it comes to the red zone? Might be a mismatch, put it up top where the kids can't get it. I'm just saying. They like Caleb Odom, and they like what he's doing so far as well. Tight ends are going to be a part of this pass game. That's been something that the folks at Bama Online have echoed many times. C.J. Dupree and Josh Cuevas both had good scrimmages. It sounds like Josh Cuevas had a touchdown catch. They will be involved in this offense, not just as blockers, but like I just said, as pass catchers. And that is the future now of modern college football, having tight ends that you can split out in the slot, that you can have their hand in the dirt, that you can create matchups for in the middle of the field. They are going to be a factor for Jalen Milroe. If you go back and watch Washington last year and how they utilized Jack Westover, he got a lot of targets. Like, if you rode with us during Prize Picks, we loved the Jack Westover more than number any given week. So both those guys will be forces for the Bama offense this year. Up front, they love the trenches. They love the way that this offensive and defensive line are battling back and forth. And that sounds kind of cliche, but I'm telling you, like, in the SEC, to have good-on-good, iron sharpens iron kind of looks during fall camp, that matters. That's a way to get meaningful reps before you even play your first game. They love the interior of this offensive line, which when we talk about the trenches, like that is as trenchy as it gets, man. Like guard, center, guard, that is, from my understanding and from what I can gauge, like is what's going to put the pocket together for Jalen Milroe. That's going to be inside zone. That's going to be 4th and 1, getting that first down when it comes to a quarterback sneak or an inside run. Like that is the key ingredients now. So I wouldn't just brush past that if I'm an Alabama fan. Defensively, LT Overton playing that bandit role for them, he has been a dude for them so far during fall camp. It sounds like he had a great scrimmage. The bandit's kind of like an edge rusher / defensive lineman. Like you can drop him, you can have him rush the passer. I would just say this when you talk about LT Overton. Highly recruited guy out of high school, was at A&M last season, comes to Bama. Think about those great Bama teams, those Bama teams that end up competing for something, whether they win the SEC, they make the college football playoff. Like, they usually have a dude up front that wreaks havoc. That is like the guy on the defensive line. LT Overton, through fall camp, a few practices and a scrimmage, could be that guy. So keep an eye on him. But intel galore, again, Bama Online, JD1, $1 for your first month. Like, you want to get all the coverage from guys like Tim Watts, Charlie Potter, like the whole team over there is crushing it. JD1, $1 for your first month. Go ahead and lock that in, all right? Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.